Alright, guys, today we are going to be reacting to Andrew Holt OF Girl Accountable, but Nosy Lady interferes. Okay, let's jump in.
I'm a victim. Oh, my horrible father did all these horrible. And then you get into the story, and it turns out, well, actually, I was a shithead, right? I tried to get revenge. I broke their shit. I TP'd his house and did horrible things to him because he made me face the consequence of my actions.
No, that was because he made my sister cry. I vandalized because he made my sister
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing, right? It's like, it seems like it's kind of this perpetual war.
I am taking accountability.
How?
I literally said all the actions I've done are me.
They're based on you. So how's it his fault? You say it's both our faults. It's your fault.
It is my fault.
It's your fault.
But it is also
It's not also. It's just this. Just your fault. You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
There's no also. Stop that part.
Okay.
Just me.
There's like people react, and when you're a 17-year-old girl, you're literally not even an adult yet. So, can you?
You were a week away from being 18.
But you really think an 18-year-old is like actually an adult? Like
You think
legally they are, but do you expect them to
if you're willful,
act that mature?
If you're willful and disobedient inside your father's home, what other recourse does he have but to say, go taste the world? And then when you do, and you realize how awful it can be without dad's protection, perhaps you'll come around. At
Maybe
some
it's because when I was like 10 and like having a tantrum as a kid, normal 10-year-old thing. Maybe regular timeout would have been cool, but he literally taped my mouth shut, taped my arms behind my back, taped me to a chair, and put me in the garage for the night.
Okay, well that's different.
So that's probably why.
That's a threshold delineation now.
Well, I'm just gonna intervene. This is obviously making her uncomfortable.
So what? So what if it makes her personally
what I'm saying is
hang on. Why does everybody need to intervene for an uncomfortable conversation?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. You see how the hero syndrome kicks in very quick, and they need to protect each other because she got exposed. She's now vulnerable. And this will be one of the conversations that will probably help her. This one. But then she doesn't want to be she don't want to help her, really. She just want to be a woman, I guess.
Uncomfortable.
So what? So what if it makes her personally
what I'm saying is
hang on. Why does everybody need to intervene for an uncomfortable conversation?
No,
it's
I'm fine
going to
with
be
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. She's fine. It's fine. Let us finish the convo.
It's just
Wait, really quick.
I-
What's the purpose of your intervention?
No,
Is this to stop the conversation?
No. I'm just saying that, okay, you're making the point that she did a lot
Just
of
ignore the
things
point.
and she faced consequences. Her dad forced her to face those consequences.
Yeah.
But we're also hearing little snippets of how her childhood was not the best, and she
Yeah,
was
right
not
this
treated.
second.
She was not treated the way she should be
1 second
treated
ago,
as a
we
child.
started to hear this.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, because
I'm
we're
not gonna
peeling
start
back
off with
the
my whole
onion,
life
and
That's
now
what
we're
I'm doing, right? And so now we're getting into the heart of the conversation. I'm
so,
not
like,
excusing that.
I'm not like. So,
Listen, I'm not
so
excusing
because
that. That's a
I'm-
whole different level of shit, right?
So that I think that.
But
is, like,
kids act out
he
because they
treated-
don't feel loved.
Because he treated
That's
me like that
bullshit.
as a young kid.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Kids don't act up because they don't feel love. That's such a female point of view, man. That's crazy. That's not even close. Kids just act up because they're just trying to regulate their emotions, and you as a parent, you need to know better. And I'm not saying do what they did to her, like taping her mouth and stuff like. No, you don't have to do that. But with a simple timeout, put them in the room for 2 or 5 minutes, make sure they're back, teach them. That should do it. Not even screaming. Because then what happens is if you beat fire with fire, it can get dangerous. But make sure they learn how to calibrate their emotions. Well, this lady right here, she's saying like, it's just because they're not feeling love. This is what's going to create the 70%. This right here. I have no idea how to parent.
Because of his actions, that's probably why I acted out as a teenager.
You learn about this in like child
Is it?
psychology.
Why
too.
you act that out as a teenager?
Because I finally had freedom to do anything. Like I had a car and I can do stuff.
So was it because you taped your arms behind your back when you were a kid, or is it because when you felt like you could do the thing you wanted to do it, and you did it?
Yeah, because I'm finally
There you go.
doing my
There you go.
life
Get close.
self
Yeah.
Get close.
without like,
Go ahead.
I think that there's still accountability for being like a father and like providing a stable relationship with your daughter. And if she acts out to provide a punishment that fixes the behavior, not worsens it down the line. Like, I don't really agree with extreme corporal punishment and things like that. And like, there's literally psychology and
yeah,
like,
but we're not
studies
talking
that
about
show-
extreme corporal punishment. It's not corporal
That's an
punishment to
example.
set boundaries inside of your home, and
It's
if a
corporal
person does not
punishment
adhere
to
to the
tie someone
boundaries,
up and duct
you
tape
don't
their
allow
mouth.
them to be in your home anymore.
I just mean like in this specific example, like the relationship and the upbringing that she may have had was not a regular, stable relationship. Like, it's harder as a young person to know how to feel,
Bro,
how to.
it's very rough to watch this, man. This is, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm really trying hard, folks, to believe me, but there's something, I don't know, there's something very bad about this person right here. I don't know what it is, but it's bad meaning like something happened here, man. Like, something bad happened. Ugh. Something very bad happened.
Express yourself when you are
Yeah.
taught that it's met with
Yeah,
negative
okay, I get all
outcomes.
that, but the thing is like we literally learned about the taping of the arms and shit 1 minute ago. So before that, the idea here was only that, okay, these were consequences which were set down for the actions that you did, right? Which you said I take accountability for those actions. Now suddenly there's a pivot to when I was 10, I got duct taped and this
No,
and
but
that.
like
But
what I'm saying
before
is,
there was none of that.
Well, that's what I was saying was uncomfortable for her to speak
But,
up
like,
about the taping behind her
because
Be
of
back.
how
uncomfortable.
he
We're
treated
talking.
me as a kid, that does impact how I will, like,
Like, progress. And
progress and like you like able to handle my own emotions. Like it traumatizing as a kid. So then
I don't know, it's just weird. I would think you would lead with that, right? Think you would
Well,
lead
I-
with
No, not really.
Personally,
No.
you don't want to out your
Not
parents.
everybody's
on this.
gonna
I
lead
would
with that.
out my dad on this. The things he's done.
But
to me,
like
I would not.
I'm only bring that up
say it.
now because like
'Cause you're
saying
pressing her.
You're acting like
Yeah, I am pressing,
I
yeah.
was only acting out as a teen, but you don't know what I went through.
Well,
before
I mean that's true, but it's like there's no way for me to do anything but take your word to it, right? So I just will. I'm just saying that it's very normal for teenagers to act out and be ridiculous assholes and face consequences for that.
Yeah.
And then to cope later and say the reason that is because such and such is just a real meanie head, and then you get into the heart of it and you find out, well, wait, actually you were just kind of an asshole, right? You were just an
I was
asshole.
probably an asshole because how he treated me when I couldn't defend myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that part, right? I just heard about it a minute ago.
Yeah, well.
So
it's like leading by example, like if your parental figures are not, not necessarily A+, but if they do things that kind of disobey your boundaries and like make you feel scared to talk about how you feel or whatever, it kind of closes off that part of like your life. I don't know.
yeah, but sometimes that's good. Those are boundaries. Parents have to have boundaries too. The parents are going to set up boundaries too. They're going to be like, okay, look, like I don't want to hear, bullshit excuses for X, Y, and Z. Just
Valid.
do it, right? That's totally reasonable and rational. The
Yeah.
problem is that it seems to me that modern women, especially, and it's not just modern, okay? Even in the '90s when I was growing up, this was a thing. That teenage women.
The difference between you and I as a first generation Asian American is that when I messed up growing up, I got my ass whooped and learned from it. Actions have consequences, let's
Yeah.
face it. Thank you, who cares for the TTS, appreciate it.
Yeah.
You said when you in the 90s, when you were growing up.
Yeah, even when in the '90s when I was growing up, teenagers had huge issues with authority. If you weren't bending over to kiss a girl's ass, right, then you were a mean, abusive, whatever. And this trend has just kind of continued, right, where women try to dictate what behavior parents are supposed to have or not have, and it's all based around femininity, no masculinity, which is the consequence part. And the consequence part is the important part.
I think it's how you execute that. I think it's really important to like make it known to your child, like, hey, I still love you, and even though
That's
there
a
is
feminine
punishment-
approach.
True, because I'm a woman. And
Yeah, I know,
I
and I'm
myself
giving
never
you
had
the
a father
non-feminine
figure.
approach. I'm saying that the non-feminine approach is to say, okay, you fucked up, here's the consequence. Not an affirmation of like, you can do whatever you want and you will still have unfettered access to me.
What I mean is, I'm agreeing with you. So I agree. I think.
What the hell?
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $200.01.
Grid 1,
No
appreciate it.
one has a regular, stable relationship. Parents make mistakes, but does not excuse your bad behavior
Yep.
and poor life choices. Coping and seething about the past does no good. Get your shite straight.
I don't know. Like, interestingly enough, she took way more responsibility for the things that she did than most of the women who were on here. To be perfectly honest, like, I'll give that credit to you.
Yeah.
Grid one, thank you for the
pled guilty.
TTS. You were
Yeah,
saying
yeah, yep.
you were
Yeah, that's the first step. That's the first step. As long as you can admit that, hey, I effed up, I'm making bad choices. That's always a good start.
You were saying you agree with Andrew, but
Well, more like and.
Yeah.
What I mean is like how you go about, repercussions for your actions with your child is really important, I feel. And it's like the stability and consistency of that. It's not like, oh, I spoke out of turn and now I'm scared of my safety. It's like, oh, I spoke out of turn, I'll go to timeout. It's like the difference in level of severity and irregularity of that.
What's too
punishment.
severe?
I think it's kind of hard to pinpoint.
That's right.
'cause
It's hard to
kind of a
pinpoint.
social-
Because it's hard to pinpoint, right? We're in this kind of nebulous area of we know it when we see it. So,
Right.
like, you and I would agree. Duct taping a child in a garage, that's
It's
too
bad.
fucking severe.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
That's way too much, right? On the other hand, you've consistently broken my rules nonstop and are causing nothing but discord in our household. You need to go. I don't think that's too severe.
Yeah, there you go. That's real right there. That's real right there. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be worse. Then it's gonna just influence the others in the house, and most importantly, the other people in the house are gonna be affected as well. Very good back and forth. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next one.